Good morning. As Kendra mentioned, I was born in Glen, Ellyn, and raised here at First Congregational. About 12 years ago, I moved to Arizona, but attended services here whenever I visited my family, and when my husband and I got engaged, we knew that we were going to be married here. We moved back to Illinois about a year ago with our son, Cain, and he was baptized here in July. With all that history, you'd think that I'd just dive right back in, but I found myself hesitating. Growing up, I'd been involved in Joyful Noise, Sunday school, youth group, work camp, you name it. But to me, this felt like a second home. It didn't feel like a place I just came on Sundays. When I came back to Illinois, we'd come to church on Sundays, and Cain would go to the nursery, but that was about where my involvement ended. I knew I wanted to get to know other families, to make some friends, become part of this community, and share in fellowship again, but I really wasn't sure where to begin. So let me back up a bit. When we first moved back, I tried to meet other families at some of the local library story times, but they never quite worked out for us. You see, my son Cain, who is now 16 months old, has always been a big kid. When he was born, he weighed 8 pounds, 15 ounces, and my husband begged the nurse to write down 9 pounds, but she refused. So just kind of picture it. We would be at library story time, surrounded by babies cooing in their mother's arms and gently rocking back and forth to the songs. And then there was Cain, my little 6-month-old giant, already crawling, barreling through the crowd like a bulldozer, wanting to wiggle and move any which way except for being in my lap. Afterwards, the other parents would gather together and chat and visit. Their little ones would sit in a circle between them. And then there was my son, making a beeline for the door to explore elsewhere as I ran after him. And did I mention he's also very, very fast? So that didn't work out. So that's part of why, for me, becoming involved in some of the church's community groups made all the difference. I wanted to share about 2 of them today with you, Playgroup and the Young Families Group. When I learned about Church Playgroup, which is held in the nursery on Tuesdays, I was excited, and thanks to our storytime experience, a little bit nervous, but I was eager to get out and meet other families and other adults. When we arrived, we met kids as young as Cain, all the way up to 5 years old, and best part of all, there's a gate in the nursery, and the gate latches, and so I had kept Cain in with me. He immediately crawled up to a mom sitting on the floor and decided that she was his best buddy. He then gleefully crawled around, playing with every toy he could reach. And even more miraculous, I was sitting and talking with grown-ups. And as a bonus, Cain wasn't forced to lay on blankets or sit quietly in a circle, unless he felt like doing that, because let's be honest, it's not really up to me. Now Cain runs into the nursery, and I don't want to leave at the end. Some days there are a bunch of families, some days there are 2, some people come for an hour, some come for the whole thing, but we always have a good time. I also began participating in the Young Families Group, another opportunity to meet other parents and grow in fellowship. We meet every few weeks in a member's home and enjoy food and drinks and conversation. The parents there have children of all ages, and many of the younger kids come and play together while we parents enjoy time socializing and sharing with each other. With kids of all ages involved in all sorts of activities, most people can't come every time, and that's okay. We go when we can, and we enjoy ourselves each time. I'm grateful to be surrounded by other parents who can relate to the successes and challenges, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because as all parents know, sometimes it can get pretty ugly. We've shared joys and concerns. We've talked about everything from diaper brands to restaurant hotspots, preschools to podcasts, Pee Wee football to Game of Thrones. In both groups, I found friendship, and in friendship, I experienced God's love. So maybe you're like me, wondering how to meet other parents in our church, or maybe you're already invested in church school, vacation Bible school, and more. No matter what, all of us can enjoy an opportunity to sit and visit, an opportunity to get out of the house and share in fellowship with other families. And while we adults share those times together, our children share in fellowship and fun as well. It seems like such a little thing, a bunch of kids playing and parents chatting, but both of these groups really helped me reconnect with this church. I encourage each of you to find a place to build community here. There are so many opportunities. If you'd like to know more, there are tables with information about many of our community groups set up outside the sanctuary today. Thank you.